Alright guys, what's going on? We've got Wars 5 and 6 of Season 32, and after this I'm actually going to cut the backlogging short. I have one more thing I want to upload before the season starts, and yeah, I just don't have time to get the other 6 wars out like I thought I would, so it's fine. I'll let you know how the season ends at the end of this video. So, okay, let's see here. So this is our first time this season facing GT40. They have placed first in Masters seasons 30, 31, and now 32. And they are just really, really good. So we weren't taking this war lightly, and we were still kind of catching on to like the new meta with the new defensive tactic and stuff. So we did not play particularly well this war as an alliance, but spoiler alert, we did end up beating them this war. They were beating us and they gave up some deaths. I think that they probably just kind of thought they had it in the bag, and if I were them I probably would have thought the same thing. But yeah, so we ended up in a tie with them, and then we had one person left to fight, and they had one person that still needed to fight, and their person ended up dying, and our person soloed. So we won by 1 attack bonus this war. Anyway, I talked through this entire thing fight. I've taken him here a lot of times before. It's really straightforward. I've even accidentally taken him here before without putting suicides back on from defensive placement, so it's a very doable fight as long as you know how to fight Thing. And this next fight here, this is going to be Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey, it seems like he's always here. I do think there are better places for him, but I don't know. I mean, he's obviously here for a reason, right? So he has kind of an annoying heavy attack to counter, just in general. Here, he's just going to do a bunch of hits in my block. I finally got that reparry off, and he's just going to go down. So, very straightforward fight there. And then, this is one of the 2 reasons that I brought this is one of the 2 reasons that I brought Nimrod to war. Kitty Pride on this node is pretty good placement. I do think that it could kind of be an easy spot to build up an apocalypse. But yeah, Nimrod. The thing I need to watch out for here is bubble shield. And I think this is also like my first time using Nimrod, so I really had no clue what I was doing. I have no clue why I switched modes there. So I didn't get any of the shocks. Now she has a bunch of prowess, which is a little bit annoying. So I just need to wait for my orange mode, as I like to call it, because I have no clue what it's called. Forget to knock her down before throwing this, but still light her up with a special 2, and she's just going to die to shock damage. So, the risk there is if she throws a special 1 into your block or something. Nimrod isn't immune to incinerate, so he can get incinerated there. And then this fight, originally somebody else was going to be taking it. However, that person was on a solo streak at the time, and they were going to be taking it with a Horseman Archangel. And after talking to a few people about it, including Taters, who wasn't in the Alliance at the time, him and I both agreed that this was a better option for the fight, and I trust his judgment. So I went in, and yeah, see how this goes. So my strategy here was to get to a bar of power before I let him get into his berserk mode, and that way I had like some sort of recourse for getting cornered, because on this node with the Mixed Master, it's really easy to get cornered, even easier than usual. But you can see that fight just went so well. Very easy, very straightforward, definitely the right call. So here, this is going to be a Nick Fury on EMP modification. taken this fight a lot. I still get a little bit nervous every time I do, and you can kind of tell by how long I linger, like going into the fight screen. The longer I sit there, or like if I'm checking sig levels or something, it's because I'm nervous about a fight. I think it's just something that I subconsciously do. So here I'm going to parry light. Gonna go ahead and lock in my spores here around 17. And then after that it's just reparrying, locking in spores, trying to avoid using dexterity. I do leave dexterity on for this fight just because, like, if he goes unblockable and he has like a special 2 or something, I don't want to take that to the face because it'll stun me. So here I just push him to a special 3. If I would have baited out the special 2, I would have gotten like a shock on me. It's just unnecessary. I had an invul none for this fight, so just gonna tank the special 3, interrupt his heavy attack, and right here, right here, I'm gonna take a couple hits. And it seems like I always do that against Nick Fury on this node. I don't know why, but it just happened. So either way, my special 3 is going to kill him, and he's going to die. So, pretty easy fight. I've done it much more cleanly than that, but it is what it is. Okay, this is going to be a Korg on Buffet. So I think I said this about another placement this season. I think that this was like kind of a meta placement when like Void was the main counter to Buffet, but Void is not the main counter to Buffet anymore, so Korg being here didn't make a ton of sense to me. I mean, a lot of champions can take him, so here, just gonna let the spores kill him. And then this next fight here is going to be a Black Panther Civil War, and he seems to be here quite a bit. This is another Buffet node. So I am just going to do what I normally do and back up into the corner with Omega and use dexterity. I think that there are definitely other options for this fight. So I think last season with planning wars for the first time, I struggled a lot with like not wanting to put other people in super difficult situations, or in like situations that I wasn't 100% about. So if there was a fight like, I mean, Horseman Archangel could take this fight easily, right? Like Apocalypse with bleed immunity could take this fight easily. But because we hadn't like tested that specifically, I didn't want to ask anyone in my battle group to do that. So that's why you see me doing this so much with Omega Red. I think that next season, season 33, it's going to be a different story. I think that you're going to, you know, not see me doing this as much. I think this is like unnecessary. It's good if you don't have other options, but I think I'm just going to try to trust my instincts a little bit more, and, you know, people, if they want to take these types of fights, and they have good counters for them, then I'm just going to do that, and trust that the people in my battle group are capable, because they all are. I am definitely not the best, definitely not the best player in my battle group. So yeah, that was it for that war. Just gonna move up here and share energy. Like I said at the beginning, we did end up winning this war. I think it was a particularly bad showing from us, and I know it was a particularly bad showing for GT40. So, yeah, moving on to the next one, we're gonna go up against Salty Warriors. So these guys also finished in Masters this season. And just going to edit my team here. Oh, right, okay. So in this war, I've seen some people talk about like not understanding why alliances are like banning Corvus. And I'm going to show you in this war why I think it's a good idea to. So I feel like they did a pretty okay job of hiding Corvus charges in Section 1. So they may have felt like, oh, well, you know, like we're pretty safe from people using Corvus against our map or something. But they did leave one, and I'm going to pick it up for a really tricky fight on Mini Island, or a fight that would normally be really tricky. So anyway, starting off on Path 2 in Section 1, it's just a Jabari. She has like no health, so she goes down super fast. This is going to be a man thing on node 20. I've done this quite a bit as well with Corvus, or I'm sorry, with Omega. There are other options here, obviously. You know, there's actually a lot of other options. I think you could use, you could definitely use Thing. You can, and we have used Thing this last season here. He's fine for it. Diablo works really well for it. You could just, you know, use a counter, like a Man-Thing counter, like, you know, with like with an Odin pre-fight. You can use like, probably out-damage the node with like Spidey 2099. I don't know, it really, I mean, there's like a lot of different counters to that fight. So anyway, this Guardian here, this is going to be EMP modification, and I'm just going to show you why we ban Corvus. So if you're going to lean into the global at all, there's a lot of Corvus charges in the global pool, so this is why I recommend banning him. So just gonna parry a few times, armor break him, drop a special 2 with 0 charges. It's gonna be like what, 70k, roughly 70k, maybe 65k. Either way, he's down. I don't know how many thousands of health that took off of him, but 2 special 2s and he's done. And I'm doing this because I'm going to be taking a defender on Mini Island that I actually think is good placement, but again, with Corvus with 1 charge, he's just going to make a joke of that fight. So this is going to be Silver Surfer on Buffet and Chitinous Thorns. This was a very meta placement when High Ground was the meta, or the defensive tactic. It's not anymore, so you can play this fight super slow, and as you can see, that fight is done in like 25 seconds. Next up here, we're going to be taking this Immortal Abomination. So he is here because every 10 hits on either one of your combo meters, he's going to self-inflict a poison. And what that would normally do on Conflictor here is it would cause him to shrug that poison and gain power. And if he gets to a special 3, you are dead. Like 100%. If he gets to a special 3 and puts that acid burn on you, it doesn't matter if you're poison immune, you are going to die to that acid burn. So no one is immune to it. But Omega Red isn't going to allow him to shrug anything. You can see we have like 10 debuffs on him right now. We don't have a guidance, we're just parrying him like normal. Omega just turns this node off and the fight's over. So super straightforward. I'm not sure who else we would use for it besides Omega. I mean, I know there are other options, but not a ton of good ones. And then this is going to be Super Scroll. This is Aspect of Evolution, Enhanced Special 2. Can be a very scary fight, especially with the global. So what you want to do against Super Scroll is parry 5 times. And I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to hit him and he's going to gain his armor. I should have just stuck with the plan. I felt like I was getting pushed back a little bit. So here, first special 2, 1 charge Corvus is going to do about 100k. Second special 2, again 1 charge on Corvus. And third special 2, same thing. So this is why, like, even if you just put one Corvus charge somewhere and you think, like, oh, someone would have to, like, really force a matchup here, you know, to want to use Corvus for that fight. No, Corvus can end fights so quickly. I think we ran another Corvus and used it on Penny on node 55, which, of course, got absolutely destroyed. So yeah, just be careful where you're placing champions if you're not banning him, because if you give people even just one charge, like an easy charge to pick up, and you have any like mini bosses or shared fights that are, you know, Corvusable, your defense is just going to drop super quickly. So anyway, that's it for this war. That's all I'm posting for the season. I just don't have time to finish. I want to make sure that I get like a good jump on season 33. And yeah, we did end up, so after this war, we did end up facing a new nation, either the next war or the war after. We lost to them. We ended up facing Savage Squad for the second time this season, lost to them, and then we faced GT40 again and lost to them. So we had 3 losses on the season, all right towards the end. But yeah, overall really good season. 4Loki finished in second, and yeah, I'm super excited for season 33 to see how that one goes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next season.